Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, today we got a very exciting day. I tell you, after that disastrous first build on the motor for this buggy and basically broke that rod and sent it through the case. If you guys haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. Oh boy, the carnage that was left behind was something else. But anyways, this week I came up with a long block here, everything minus the heads. A little excited about this one. It is something's going on with it. It's a little stiff and it only goes so far before it stops. And the gentleman that I got it from said he tried to pull out the distributor drive and it only came out so far, so I just have a feeling the gears are binding in there. It does have case savers, so somebody has built this motor in the past and did it right, it looks like. That looks like an aftermarket cam, so when I get that out of there, we'll figure out what that cam is. But it does only have the 4 dowels, but it doesn't look like they're wallowed out, but we'll see when we get that flywheel off of there. But between this motor, the parts that are there, and the parts out of what's left from the exploded motor. Yeah, we'll get one built and we'll get this beach buggy back on the road. I tell you, when I'm involved with a build like this, and they're so fun to drive, when anything makes it stall out, like, you know, an exploded motor. But anyways, I'm gonna get to work on this thing and see what's going on and see if we can't get a motor built. When I do put it back together, it will be freshened up with new bearings, unless these could be like in perfect shape. We'll see when we get it apart. I wish I would have taken the last one apart and gotten a look at that, because the one rod that ended up going through the case, there was no bearing left there. And I probably would have seen it if I would have just looked. So this time around, we're going to tear this thing apart and, you know, let's see what it looks like. Hopefully there's some good parts in this and we can get a motor built. Anyways, I'm going to get to work and I'll bring you back in a little bit. Let's see if we can't get this flywheel off here. Yeah, that came out pretty easy. Those dowels seem to be in pretty good shape. Looks like there's been a little bit of pressure on the sides of this flywheel, but it's usable. I'm not too worried about that. Maybe have it drilled 8 dowel. I don't know. We'll see if there's a cam in here. If there's a cam in here, we better go 8 dowel. What do you guys think? Now, I knocked one of these off yesterday, make sure my pistons that I have match. Well, the good news, these pistons look like they're in pretty good shape. The other rings I have on the blown up motor, those are brand new rings, so I'll switch those out. But these all look good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and knock these wrist pins out of here and get these pistons off. Make sure they go back in the jug they came out of. But yeah, this motor's running a little bit rich, but there's a little blow by here. But no, this all looks real good. Even those rods in there look awfully shiny. I have a feeling this might be a freshly built motor, and just something's messed up on the inside, maybe just that distributor drive. But yeah, we might have us a running motor here in the next couple of days. Wouldn't that be nice? Just have to put this thing back together and throw it in the old beach buggy. What do you think, Turbo? All right, I'm gonna get to work. Well, hey guys, I got all the pistons out of there, and you know, when you go to remove the wrist pins, they should slide out pretty easy. The first one that I did, let me figure out how to turn this light on here. You can see inside there, there's some scoring inside that rod, and that wrist pin was hard to get out of there. So definitely something went through this oil system, oil passages, and yeah, we're gonna have to tear into it deeper, just see how much damage it is. I mean, it's strange, because I mean, this all looks, look at those rods. Those rods look like they were new. The cam on this side, I mean, that looks bright and shiny like it's new. I think someone built this motor and something might have gone kablooey on it. So anyways, I'm gonna dig into it further, see what the heck's going on. It looks like there's new parts in there, but yeah, something sent some debris through the oil system, obviously. All right, let's break these cases apart and see what the heck's inside there. That's funny, my son warned me about this impact driver. It's just a little 3/8 drive, but my God, does it have some torque to it. Definitely a little ripper of a tool there. Now, one thing I don't have is one of them little case splitters. I was watching this one video and this guy had this neat little tool went in there, spread it apart. I'm thinking about taking the time to actually build one of those right now, because it wouldn't be that hard. Depends on what a struggle this will be to get it apart. Sometimes these are glued pretty good. It's starting to come up already. Well, a little hint, before you try to split cases, make sure you get them all out of there. There was two there hiding. They're all out of there. Well, let's get these out of there. It'll come apart easier there. And there we go. All right, let's get these apart. I'm like, why the heck isn't this coming apart? All right, let's see what we got here. There is a scored bearing there. I tell you, is it my imagination or does this stuff look brand new? See, there is the problem with the distributor drive. These rod bearings are sweet. Look at that. That is a problem. Cam bearings do not look bad. Lifters aren't bad. This crank is going to have to come apart and get a new gear put on it. But these rod bearings are tight. That bearing should come off of there, I think. Yeah, that bearing there is stuck. And look at that. That hole there's a little wallowed out. And one thing I'm noticing is like all the lubrication's really sticky. But yeah, that's got to get taken care of. But yeah, I think this this crank can be fixed up. I don't know what we do about that. Put a bigger dowel in there, drill that up, put a bigger dowel, and drill the bearing. This bearing is, that's seized. That should be rotating there, and it's not able to. So yeah, look at this one. I mean, it looks like whoever put this together didn't put that bearing in the right place there. And that one's, oh boy. Well, I think we can work with it. It's got some good parts here. That one rod bushing, whichever had the score in it, that one's probably gonna have to get a new bushing pressed in there. But I mean, look at these rods, look brand new. And I tell you, there's no play that I can feel. So the rods are all in good shape. This bearing here doesn't turn. This one here screwed up there. This is screwed up. I'm gonna knock that distributor drive out of there, and I got one of those, but yeah, let's get that out of there. And I'm sweating. All right, I'm gonna knock that distributor drive out of there, and we're about done. This is gonna have to go to the shop and rebuild that crank, put some new stuff on there. I don't know why. I mean, that bearing ain't turning. Anyways, guys, we'll get a little bit more work done, and that'll be it for the day. We found out what we need to. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm working on getting this bearing off of here, and I tell you what, I mean, that bearing was too tight. I'm pretty sure that someone got the wrong bearings for these, for this crank. This one here, I mean, that feels good. But this one here is just locked up on there. I'm trying to get it off, and I'm actually denting it, so that's garbage. Yeah, this worries me. I hope these cases can be, I don't know if they're, I mean, this can't be the first time this has ever happened, so maybe there is some kind of repair. Drill it, bigger dowels, even a two-stage dowel, one that fits a bigger hole there and then fits the bearing correctly. Any of you guys ever run into stuff like this, please let me know in the comments, because I do not know. This drive isn't hurt at all, the distributor drive, but it sure chewed this up. It's kind of a mystery what happened to this motor, because obviously, I mean, it was a freshly built motor that for some reason went kablooey. And the bearings, they don't even look bad. Besides this one that didn't fit correctly. These lifters, perfect shape. Anyways, I'm gonna work on getting that darn bearing off of there. Then this crank is gonna have to go to the machine shop. These pistons, they don't look bad at all. I mean, the lines are still on there, so yeah. This was a fairly fresh motor. Anyways, I'm gonna get that bearing knocked off of there. I'm curious to see what that one looks like on the other side that we can't see. All right, guys, well, I have done about all I can do today. Now, I got this bearing off of here, and this is real interesting because that sucker, I had to pry and beat it off. That didn't sound anyways, I had to pry that off and hit it a couple times to get it to even come off, and it will not slide on there. So I suspect that because these bearings are fine. Now, this crankshaft could have been cut down, and the machinist didn't cut this journal down, and so they got a crank bearings that were 10,000ths for a 10,000 cut, but we got a stock journal there, and I mean, that sucker did not want to come off of there. We got this mess up here, so that's gonna have to be fixed. But like I said, I mean, this looks like it was a freshly built motor, and those pistons look new. Those two got a little hotter. These are still shiny on this side. These rods look new. They're nice and tight. Besides, whatever went through the oil scored up a couple of these the tops of these rods. But I do want to show you something very interesting when it comes to the cams. This is the stock cam that came out of the other motor. Now, put you guys over here. Got this little measuring device here. This one here we were told was a 110. Now, if you look at these, look at how the lobes peak and they drop off fast. So it has a very short duration. This is stock, has a little bit longer duration on the top. Now, you measure the lobe, top lobe of the stock one. There's about 1/8 of an inch difference there. And yet this one is a little bit shorter, the one that's supposed to be a performance cam 110. So shorter duration and shorter lobe. This one has as long a duration as the stock, but the lift is about an 1/8 of an inch higher. So I'm thinking this maybe is a 120 cam. Stock 120, 110. I don't know why the 110 would have shorter lift. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can tell me in the comments if I'm thinking something wrong here. But we were told this was a 110. This is what came out of that, which I'm convinced now that it was built. It's just the assembly or the machine work didn't go right and it messed that up. And that's stock, and the stock has a longer duration than all of these. So, like I said, any of you VW guys, if you can go to the comments and put some input in, let me know what you think, what you know. But my next steps here are take this crank and the cases to the machine shop and get them all straightened out so I can reassemble this. I got to clean these jugs up a little bit. I'll hone them out, put some new rings on them. They're good to go. This one, I don't know which one it is at this point, but one of them had pretty bad scoring on the top there. So that's gonna have to get fixed. So we got some stuff for the machine shop, and then we will put this thing back together. I have an 1835 motor that I'm working on, and I think what I'm going to end up doing is saving the radical cam that came out of this for my 1835, because that's going to go in that sand car. I'm going to do a mid-engine sand car out of that rail frame right there, and then we'll put this stock cam into this one. So basically this will be a stock 1600 dual port heads, and I got a progressive Weber carburetor for it. That's going back in the beach buggy. And then the 1835 with this radical cam that I got with this motor will go in that. And that's going to be the next project after this one's gone, besides the motor going into Frankenbuggy. We're doing an ABA swap on that. So that's going to be trick. That's going to be turbocharged ABA. I waited a month to get the adapter from Kennedy Engineering, and so it's here. So time to build that. We're gonna just get this one running, sell that, get it on out of here. And been doing a little work on these quads. I'm selling these too, because this guy here, I'm really thinking I'm gonna be putting that Subaru motor of mine in here, turboed 2.0 Subaru. Old Rally Bug's going to be a real ripper on the track, and that's what I want to build from it. Disc brakes, everything. So, lots of content, lots of stuff, projects coming. We can't forget about Black Betty, 1000 horsepower LS. Oh boy, you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and yeah, come along with us, all these projects we're working on, because we're going to have a lot of fun with this stuff. All right. Everyone have a wonderful day. 4th of July is coming up. Celebrate our independence from the old English there. We had to get them out of our lives. That took place, what, 200 and some odd years ago on July 4th. So everyone enjoy the July 4th holiday. And because I probably won't be back before that, because machine shop will probably be not able to do my work till then. So everyone enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one.